Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be doing my reaction and review for LEGO Ninjago Seabound Episode 5, The Wrath of Kalmaar. If you would like to check out my reaction to this episode, you can be sure to go down below to the top of the description of the video where you'll find a link leading you over to Google Photos, where you'll be able to view my full uncut reaction to the episode. But without further ado, in this video we'll be getting into my full spoiler review for the episode, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, so the episode basically picks up where we left off from the previous one, and now we have Nia and Maya who have been captured by Prince Kalmaar, of course, and he's basically questioning them because he hears Nia just briefly mention the keepers of the amulet on their island, and he wants to know more about that, of course, because he wants to secure that second storm amulet, or the storm amulet, to then go with the one that he already has, so that he'll be able to awaken Wojira. So that's his goal right now, and then be able to take over the surface with Wojira, of course. So that's what's going on with him, and he's basically trying to question Nia. There's quite a funny scene where Nia just kind of acts like she doesn't know or has no idea, and I thought that was kind of funny. Her delivery was really great in that scene, so that worked really well. And then Kalmaar gets pretty angry. He winds up shooting a blast from his trident, and it winds up breaking off the tip of kind of the pillar that they're trapped to, and that plays into a later part of the episode, which we'll get to afterwards. But basically he does that in anger, and then someone else comes over as well named Gripe, who seems to be his right hand serpent there, or whatever you want to call them, eels, whatever they are. But this one has like a different color scheme going on with like yellow and a very dark blue. At least that's what I think it is. It might even be a black color as well, but he just looks really cool, so I hope that we do wind up getting him in minifigure form at some point. But then we end up cutting back to the other ninja who are basically trying to assess how they're going to try to go in to save Nia and Maya, because they're only going to have 1 hour left of air supply. So that's going to be very unfortunate if they're not able to get there in time, and basically they're trying to figure out a way. Jay suggests using his lightning powers, of course, to be able to recharge the bounty, and then they'll be able to get to them. But Zane warns him that that could wind up being fatal. But Jay, of course, I think we all know what they're setting it up for near the end of the episode, but for now he just kind of like lets it go for a minute. And then we go back to the kingdom right here, which is basically just the temple of Wojira. That's where Nia and Maya are locked up here, and then we get to see Kalmaar going to visit his father, King Trimar. So it's really cool to get an introduction to this character. I absolutely love the design of Trimar here. Now what's unfortunate is that we probably won't wind up getting a minifigure of Trimar. I mean, I don't want to exactly fully rule it out, but I don't think it's likely, considering of course Kalmaar is kind of being posed as the main antagonist here. And even though Trimar isn't really an antagonist for the season, of course, because he is actually friendly with the humans, he's fine with keeping the truce that they have right now, the peace that they hold. But Kalmaar is of course the one who has the issue with this and is trying to kind of overthrow the king. And we get to meet his adopted brother as well, Benthamar, right here, which is really cool. I love the design of Benthamar. It's almost like a minifigure, like kind of matched up with like a shark. At least that's what I'm getting from his design, especially his teeth and then the hair as well, just looking super cool. So I really hope we get a minifigure of that character, because he seems like they're setting him up to probably be a major part of this season. And I think that he was really cool in the scene. He was trying to defend his brother and try to see the good in him, saying that of course Kalmaar wouldn't do that. He wouldn't sink the ship of the Destiny's bounty, but his father does not exactly have the same amount of trust in his son here, and definitely is accusing him of doing so. But they kind of wind up resolving that by of course Kalmaar just deceiving his father, or at least attempting to, by trying to say, no, of course father, I wouldn't do that. You know I've sunk a few ships in the past, but I've stopped doing that. And then Kalmaar goes back to Nia, or is going to go back to Nia and Maya, but then we cut back to them before he comes back, and they decide a plan to basically climb up this pillar, which of course was what I was hinting to earlier in the review. But they're able to climb all the way up to it and then jump off, luckily freeing themselves. Of course they're still chained together, but then they get shot by some of the guards and by those tridents, which winds up breaking them free, at least one of their hands each, and then they're still kind of tied together, so they have to try to fight against them, which it's honestly a really cool scene, and I like to get to see Nia and Maya fighting together against these villains. So that was really cool to see as well. I think they were really great in that scene. I really love a scene where like they're just kicking them all as Maya's like throwing following Nia around, so I thought that was really fun. And then Nia tries to use one of the tridents, having a bit of difficulty at the start, but then she's able to get a handle on it, fortunately, freeing both of their chains now. And now they're trying to escape. They basically get into the APS suits, which luckily they're able to get into the ocean with. But then Kalmar, or not even Kalmar, sorry, it's actually Gripe, who winds up telling them that if you don't want Kalmar to be angry at us, then we gotta recapture these prisoners. So we're gonna send out these sharks here, and the sharks look absolutely awesome looking. Now I don't think we're gonna get these in like not minifigure form, but in like actual physical form, but they look so cool that it would be awesome to get that. I love their like color scheme with the little glowing bits, and then just the design. It looks really fierce and kind of scary as well underneath the ocean, so I like that as well. And then we get to cut back to the other ninja, who are kind of dealing with their own issues here of their power source, of course, trying to restore that so they can help go and save Nia. And Jay very obviously comes up with a bit of an excuse to kind of get away from the group, so of course he can run off and try this risky task of trying to recharge the sort of generator all by himself. And then the other ninja go after him, but he locks himself in, and we get to see a really cool scene where it just looks visually awesome. We get to see Jay in his full scuba suit here trying to recharge this, all like fused with electricity, and he looks so cool. His eyes turn all blue, and I think in this scene, even though it doesn't have any immediate like adverse effects to Jay, I feel like later on something's going to happen, unless whether it's positive or negative. Maybe he unlocks some new abilities with his lightning powers, of course, or maybe it's going to wind up like taking the energy out of himself. Maybe he starts to lose his electricity, so I'm not too sure. I just feel like something's going to wind up happening to him that will result in something negative. I'm more so leaning towards, even though I wish it was positive. I don't know, I just don't see things going too well for Jay. And we get to see Lloyd in his full scuba suit as well, which was really cool. But basically they go back to him, and luckily he's all right. He comes out of the generator room, and then they kind of put him as the captain of the ship. Now Zane kind of steps down at the end here and then lets Jay take charge, and then they go after Nia. So now they're going to go try to save her, of course. Hopefully that winds up going well and they're able to help her escape from those sharks, because those sharks did look pretty fierce. So I think she is going to be in need of some help in the next episode. But this was a really great episode. I love seeing more of Kalmar, and then also getting to meet King Trimar and Benthomar as well, who I am really big fans of. Now I see something bad happening in King Trimar's future. I just don't think things are going to go well for him, because of course I kind of know that Kalmar is going to want to overthrow his father, the king, so I don't think things are going to go in King Trimar's favor. But I think that Benthomar is going to have some sort of role in hopefully helping the ninja or something of that sort. He just seems like, of course, the kind one here who's willing to reason with everyone, so hopefully things go well for him, because Kalmar is definitely kind of stacking himself up as a pretty fierce villain for this season, so we don't want him to get too much power, else the ninja are going to be in some real big trouble. So I look forward to seeing how that all winds up going down in the future episodes. But for now, this was a great episode. Be sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on the episode down below in the comment section, and if you did enjoy the video, it would be highly appreciated if you could leave a like. Also subscribe as well if you would like to check out some of my other content. That would be highly appreciated. So thank you so much. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.